What's up, everybody, and welcome to the granddaddy of them all. This is WrestleMania. This is night one, Saturday for April the 6th, 2024 from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm Brett Mix. Hit like and subscribe if you're new to my channel. This is a pretty new channel. It's our first WrestleMania, so I'm jacked, and ready to go. I'm rocked. I can't even speak. I'm so jacked. This is the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania, so it's going to be a big one. I'm pumped. I'm going to go over everything like I always do with analysis on the side. So get comfortable, get ready, get a drink, relax, whatever you got to do. We're going to go over WrestleMania 40, night one. Whether you watched the show or whether you didn't, we're going to cover everything that happened, and we're going to just give a nice review. We're going to get over predictions. We're going to do all that stuff. So get comfy. All right, I'm pumped and ready to go. So is everybody else that was a part of making WrestleMania what it was tonight. It was a pretty good show, I got to say. For WrestleMania, it was a definitely passable show. We'll get to the final grade at the end of the review. WrestleMania opens with a big, nice, long video package, like always. A new, now, then, together, forever shot of the beginning. It's what better place than WrestleMania to debut a new intro of the then, now, forever together. They did that. And then they said Snickers and 2K24, the video game, present WrestleMania XL. And apparently it's cold out. That would be a running theme for the broadcast panel in the pre-show and on the show. It was 52 degrees with a big wind chill. So apparently that's cold for United States of America. I'm from Canada, so we got a little bit thicker skin. Especially me. I'm stocky, so I got thicker skin anyway. The show opens up with the national anthem as opposed to America the Beautiful. You got to wonder if that's one of the many changes with Vince McMahon being out of the picture. But then again, I'm not sure. Maybe in the last few years they did the national anthem as well. I know at the first WrestleMania, Howard Finkel, of all people, sang the national anthem. Or no, Mean Gene Okerlund, of all people, sang the national anthem. Howard Finkel was at the first WrestleMania, but it was Mean Gene Okerlund that sang the national anthem. After that, we did America the Beautiful. And up until this year, or maybe a few years ago, like I said, I'd have to check, they now changed back to the national anthem. I wonder if that's a Triple H move or not. You got to wonder. If it was last year or the year before, maybe it's a Vince McMahon change. I'm not sure, but it's the first time I've noticed that they changed back to it. So it could be that, or maybe I just haven't been paying attention the last couple of years in the opening song. Regardless, a Mac Mill hosted video plays, and the show opens up after the national anthem, and it's time to play the game hits. Coming out of the PA of the Gorilla spot is Triple H, Paul Levesque. That's how they mention his name. They say Paul Triple H Levesque. Nice way to say his name. Michael Cole calling his 23rd Mania with Corey Graves and Pat McAfee. Triple H says, "I love this stuff, man," and says, "Welcome to WrestleMania 40. Graves gets to be a color guy tonight with Pat McAfee with Michael Cole. Cole says this should be called the Triple H era. Graves nicely puts it, if you are the game, you have the ability to change the game. I thought that was a good line by Graves. We start out with a page of the Bible of Becky Lynch. Who's reading that Bible? Who knows? All some decent quotes from her book. All jokes aside, her book that came out, some decent quotes there. Good way to market the book by taking some quotes and applying it to WrestleMania. With the big logo things, with the big HD logos, they have HD. That's one way to put it. Those giant screens in front of the screen that they have. That was a nice place to abbreviate and highlight the quotes from Becky Lynch's autobiography. We officially begin WrestleMania 40 from the Lincoln Philly. We're going to open up with a women's title match. Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title. Becky Lynch challenging for Rhea Ripley's Women's Championship that she won a year ago on this stage against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39. So 1 year in, Rhea Ripley, can she avoid the 1 year curse? Guys like Macho Man Randy Savage had to go through WrestleMania 4 to 5 and then lost at the next WrestleMania. Will that happen to Rhea Ripley? We'll have to find out. This is a good match to pick to open up the show. I figured they'd like to open up with a bang, so I figured either the ladder match would go first or second. I was actually right about it going second, but me being right wasn't really a good theme of the night, and we'll find that out later. In the spots, maybe I was, but nothing really to brag home about, and we'll find that out as we go when I go over my predictions. So motionless and white play Ripley to the ring, and she looks like she's having the time of her life. It's her favorite band. It's her theme song. She comes out to it, and she's right in his face. He's right in her face. The freaks they are. And she's holding her title, laughing. She's having the time of her life. I remember that America the Beautiful, where Rhea Ripley was crying in the front of the stage. And I don't know if they're giveaways to her winning the matches, but the fact that she cried on the stage made me think she was going to win her match that year, and she did. And the fact that she was so smiley, it made you think Rhea Ripley's going to win. But I predicted, this is one of the ones I got right tonight. I predicted Ripley to win anyway, but you just had the feel when she came out. Samantha Irvin introduced both ladies. Becky suffering with strep throat. That's no joke. It really sucks when you get that. She was up to 102 degrees. 19 after the hour, the opening match's bell rings. So both ladies do circles around each other. I like the design of the ring apron, how it has WrestleMania in the front. We have the Prime logo in the center of the ring. A Let's Go Mommy chant breaks out of the crowd as expected, because Philly is like that as a crowd. They're a little bit anti-establishment, a little bit anti-authority. They like to go with the bad guy. But even in other cities, Mommy was getting chanted over Lynch, so it's not just a Philly thing. Ripley slapped Becky around before giving her a drop kick. We get things going now in the opening match of WrestleMania 40. They show off the cool camera angles all over the crowd. Becky with a bunch of quick shots. Becky with the tornado DDT. Using the ropes for leverage, Becky dropped her body weight onto Rhea Ripley from the second rope. A Beck exploder into the barricade to Rhea. Becky comes off the top with a leg drop to the kick to the back of the neck, scoring her a near fall. Becky caught and dropped to the canvas. She ate a big knee by Rhea Ripley, who delivers her a big boot. Ripley slamming Becky's face into the canvas repeatedly, and then a backstabber by Lynch in an armbar attempt, but Ripley blocked it. Becky looked for the full extension of the arm, and this was a near moment in the match that would go Becky's way into a turn into Rhea Ripley's sit-down powerbomb. Big shift in momentum with that move, as Becky kicks out at 2. Cole says it's chilly in Philly at 52 degrees. The wind chill was the worst part, apparently, as Cole grabs a toque and Corey Graves grabs gloves. So the combination of strep throat would be like hell for Lynch in this cold condition. But I like how Corey Graves says it's nothing that adrenaline can't overpass. An ailment adrenaline won't overcome is Cole said there's an ailment adrenaline won't overcome. So either it was Graves or Cole that said that. It's hard to keep track of every little thing when WrestleMania is happening. There's a lot of shit going on everywhere. Rhea Ripley got the prison trap in the center of the ring, and the fans get loud for Mommy and her chance to retain the title 1 year into her reign. The more she kept putting pressure on in the middle, the crowd cheered more. The defiant crowd continued to chant for Mommy. A manhandle slam to win the world title, but a kickout. Lynch's 8th Mania appearance, Ripley's 5th. Time flies. I would have thought this would be Rhea's 3rd, but 5th? Wow. Ripley not being able to put away with the manhandle slam. Then Rhea ducks and hits a riptide, and she kicks out. Ladies kicking out of each other's finishers is nothing new for WrestleMania, but it's still a good shock when it happens, as both ladies kicked out of each other's finishers. Becky then rolled Rhea Ripley into the disarmer, and Rhea may tap. Ripley then stood over, showing power, but Becky took her out with a disarmer, and Mommy landed on her feet into the electric chair as a counter onto the floor. This wasn't done on the canvas. This was done on the concrete floor on the outside by that thin mat. A long way down from the top of her shoulders to the ring, or to the floor, concrete floor. Rhea Ripley to the top. The champ comes off with a frog splash, and Becky still kicks out. McAfee says, "How?" And then he goes, "Why?" And Graves then corrects him and says, "Why? This is the showcase of the Immortals. Legends are made during this show. That's why she kicked out." Becky Lynch then into a power pump handle slam, a riptide, another one, hits at 17 and a half minutes, and that's what Rhea Ripley needs to defend her title and become successful to beat Becky Lynch in the opening match of WrestleMania 40. So I predicted Rhea Ripley right. I'm not 1 for 1, I'm 1 for 2, because we're counting that damn Andre the Giant Battle Royal, where I picked Andrade because that's how they built it up. Although I don't even know if Andrade was in that match, come to think of it, as I said last night in my SmackDown review. Nonetheless, I hate to be the guy that says I would have picked, because I'm going to do that in the next match that we have, but I would have picked Bronson Reed as my second pick with the way they're pushing him, and he ended up winning it, so that sucks, but it's okay. I'm fair, so I'm 1 for 2 in counting the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial, but like I thought Rhea Ripley wins, I rated the match 3 stars. So the first match is 3 stars, according to me. We always get Meltzer's ratings come Dave Meltzer of the PWI. We get his ratings come WrestleMania season, and I think he goes a little bit, not soft, but I think he gets a little bit too much credit to WrestleMania matches just because they're at WrestleMania. But for me, if you want to go higher than 3 stars, that's fine, but I thought it was more or less roughly a 3-star match. As expected and predicted, the ladder match do go second. Now that Rhea has won, I'm a little less sure of my Judgment Day pick that I picked to retain the titles, as we now know I got that one wrong. But this is just what I'm writing in my notes. If I could pick one other team, this is what I wrote. This is what I meant earlier when I said I was going to say, oh, I didn't predict that, but I was going to say the Awesome Truth to win the titles. No, I thought they'd win both titles, the Judgment Day. That was my pick. But I was saying, if not Judgment Day, the Awesome Truth would have been my pick, just like Bronson Reed would have been my pick. So it's frustrating that these second picks of mine are actually the ones the winning. But it's not all about my picks. It's about the show and how the show went on. So I'll get past that crap. We're going back to the show. That's more important. But yeah, I could see the reason I gave that a little bit of a speech is because the Awesome Truth, that moment of R-Truth finally sticking it to Judgment Day on the ladder after all these months with the titles in their faces, that didn't escape from my mind. I thought that is definitely the moment they're going for if the Judgment Day are not retaining the titles. But I did pick the Judgment Day, so I fall to 1 for 3. This match here, this ladder match, is DIY versus the New Day versus Waller in Theory versus the Awesome Truth versus New Catch Republic versus Judgment Day in a 12-man ladder match for the Undisputed Tag titles. Both titles are held separate, so if you grab one title belts, it doesn't mean you're the other champions. They're going to be separate titles. One team can grab both belts, but they're going to have to grab both belts on their own to do it in different ladders because they're a little bit further away from each other. So you're going to have to set up 2 ladders if you want to win 2 titles. And we could have 2 different champions coming in. So that was the announcement that was made, and I thought that was cool because the tag division, as we saw with all the tag team qualifying matches, is pretty deep right now. They got, 12 or so men's teams that they had competing for the spot to get in this 6-team ladder match. So if you had 12 teams, that means there's 6 on each brand that could be competing. That's a good enough division. That's deep enough. So to have 2 different tag team champions actually makes sense right now. So I'm not so mad that the titles aren't merged right now. This one's going to be chaotic. There's never been 12 people in a ladder match in WWE history, so it'll be hard to keep up with. Outside work is already dark blue. The sky is already dark blue. I like showing the color of the sky and how it changes in the one night of WrestleMania. I'm weird that way. Maybe other fans are the same, that they like the spectacle of it all with how it looks, how the sky goes from, light blue to dark blue to black. I just a big fan back of the day, WrestleMania 3 in Pontiac Silverdome, where they had the it wasn't just outside, but they had the top part come off and you could see through the top part and you could see what color the sky was, or SummerSlam 92 or WrestleMania 8 from the Hoosier Dome and Wembley Stadium respectively. But it's already dark out here in the second match. Lots of action everywhere. R-Truth even goes for a pin and a hot tag in the same match. Wrong match, Truth. A lot of action everywhere to begin as expected. New Catch Republic throw one half of the new snag team. I can speak. New Catch Republic threw one half of the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions through the ladder. A ladder is set up as Gargano cannonballs to the guys on the floor. 2 sets of title. Waller and Theory grabbed the SmackDown belts, so they're the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. But the match continues until the Raw titles are grabbed. Xavier Woods is then off with a springboard elbow shot, and the ladder doesn't break. So the physicality was gnarly, as Graves said. New Catch Republic makes sure Theory doesn't go up, is done in bait, coming with a brimming hammer to the canvas. Gargano with a tornado DDT to Dunn through a table off the apron. Then off the top of the ladder, Ciampa sends bait to the canvas floor. Truth went for the titles as the crowd got loud, and JD hits the devil inside to R-Truth, making sure he doesn't get up there. The crowd boo that, as the Judgment Day hate R-Truth still. Finn Balor is helped onto the ladder by JD McDonough before he left the ring after that devil inside move to R-Truth. Woods and the New Day then hit the Judgment Day with chair shots. The New Day then pushed the ladder with McDonough, who flies all the way off the ladder through a table on the outside, so that's what he gets for messing with R-Truth. Priest with a kick to the Woods and the Razor's Edge onto a chair, Kofi taking him out. Miz meets Priest on top of the ladder. As Miz got off the ladder, and Truth grabs Priest and throws him out of the ring with an attitude adjustment over the top rope to the floor. Now, like I sort of envisioned, the possibility of Truth grabbing those titles away from the Judgment Day happens as Awesome Truth grab the tag titles. R-Truth separates the Raw tag team titles from the top latch. And he does it in weird fashion because he has the latch part still connected to the titles. I don't know if that was a ploy to make R-Truth look more funny, or if that's just the way he decided to do it, but either way, the title belts did come off, and the Awesome Truth are the winners of the Raw side. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions on the SmackDown side. So we saw a lot of stuff in this match. A hot tag, a pinning attempt by R-Truth both times. A lot of guys went flying in this match. This match had its moments and has given new champions their time to shine. The Judgment Day's tag team title reign is over, but for how long, I wonder. I think back to Zack Ryder winning the Intercontinental title ladder match at WrestleMania 31, I want to say. And then I remember the next night on Raw, The Miz beat him for the title. So I could see tomorrow night on Raw, or not tomorrow night, in 2 nights on Raw, I could see the Judgment Day taking back the Raw titles from the Awesome Truth. This was just to give the R-Truth his WrestleMania moment, in my opinion. I rate this ladder match 3 stars and a quarter. All right, so two matches above 3 stars. That's good to go. Into the third match, where we got Rey Mysterio and Andrade with the LWO taking on Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio with his group Legado del Fantasma. So it's the story as old as the devil himself, Satan the devil, one of God's angels, as he thought he could do a better job than God, so he descended with followers, or demons, ex-angels. And that's what we get here with Santos leaving the LWO for Legado del Fantasma. He thinks he can do better, so he starts his own stable, even bringing in that bastard son Dominic. Not sure if he's an actual bastard, it's just I like to technically call him that because I just like the sound of it. The deadbeat dad, Rey Mysterio, is also in the match, and that's also something I like the sound of, so I'm calling him that. You think I'd be on one side or the other. Escobar the Emperor comes out with Angel and Humberto, and then we get a dirty Dom, as well as his lady. Forget her name is it Elektra? Her name it's not Scarlet. She's with the Final Testament, but I think it's Elektra. I think we saw her debut on SmackDown last night. So I think that's who it was. But there was a lady with Santos. And it's my apologies if it's not Elektra. Dom shows his head at Mania for the 2nd straight year because of his dad. Gray says if he was anything of a dad, he'd be getting his boy a Mania paycheck 2 years in a row. I thought that was funny. Anything Graves says about Mysterios is usually top line humor. Such an awesome double crossbody as the sky is now black. 8:21 p.m. in Philadelphia at this time. 5:21 p.m. my time, and somewhere in the UK it's 1:21 a.m. Such an awesome double cross body by Andrade and Mysterio down to Dirty Dom to the floor on the outside. Dom sent into the corner and takes off his belt for his son, but Dom kicks it dead. He strips him of the belt. Rey with the right to Dom, but he crashes it off into the apron, onto the apron, to the floor. Santos Escobar tagged in and takes it to Rey. The deadbeat dad on the outside. Then an into the air move by Santos Escobar, a famouser, onto that Prime logo dead center of the ring. A tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Escobar, but Rey kicks out. Dom over the top with a leg drop. The LWO and Legado del Fantasma both get involved as expected. Carlito sends them together. Joaquin Wilde says, "This is my Mania moment," and he leaps a dozen yards into the Legado del Fantasma, who are by the entranceway before the entrance mats. Right before that, so he leapt from the apron over the barricade 14 feet, 12 to 14 feet, a dozen yards, I should say, onto those opponents. Rey with a double 619 to Dominic, but Andrade drops and Santos down as Rey with a lash, and then he gets the victory at 11 minutes. Rey Mysterio gets some revenge as they turn out to be Philadelphia Eagles on the outside. who are dressed up in luchador masks, who send Santos into the corner as Rey gets his frog splash victory. 2 stars and 3/4 for the Mysterio tag match. So far we got 3 WrestleMania matches, and we got 3 matches around the 3-star category, in my opinion. Jimmy Uso takes on main event Jey Uso. They say this is for the 3rd time real brothers take on each other at Mania. They have to include the word real, because if not, then the geeks on the internet will go, nope, Undertaker versus Kane. What about the Undertaker versus Kane? They're not really brothers. So that's why they say they're real brothers. It kind of devalues Taker Kane when you look back at it, but at the same time, you want to be factually correct with you don't want to lie and just say that, because then what's the end? Edge and Christian are brothers too now? It doesn't work that way. So now we got Uso versus Uso, a really solid video package coming in. A really good video package coming in for this. Lil Wayne came out with main event Jey Uso. Is it going to be yeet or no yeet? Jimmy Uso tackled him down with a spear off the apron to main event Jey Uso to get the thing going on. Main event Jey Uso gets a 2. A Samoan drop goes foul as Jey didn't get a good version off, but he does crash towards him in the corner. Then Jimmy, Mr. No Yeet, drives him back into the head of main event Jey Uso into the corner for a second time. Jimmy with a bunch of power shots in the corner. Brother versus brother doesn't always equal greatness in the ring. Brett versus Owen. Only a few matches were actually as good as Brett versus Owen, if we're being fair, in wrestling history, in my opinion. I can stop saying in my opinion. Everything I say is my opinion anyway, so I could stop saying that at any time. But what I mean is, brothers versus brother matches don't always end up being Brett versus Owen. We saw Jeff and Matt Hardy wrestle at Vengeance 01. We saw them wrestle at WrestleMania 25. I didn't think either of those were barn burners, to say the least. So my expectations were good for Jimmy and Jay, but they weren't great, because sometimes it doesn't just work out that it works out that a tag team doesn't always work out that they're going to be great in the ring together, if that makes any sense. A slugfest broke out with the crowd chanting yeet and no yeet. A thrust kick to the jaws of both guys. Corey Graves says he saw the battle back and forth. Something McMahon says a lot. Seesaw battle back and forth, I meant to say. McMahon said that a lot, and he also said it in Brett versus Owen. So I'm kind of wondering if Corey Graves recently watched Brett versus Owen and got that commentary line from the match. Seesaw match back and forth. That's what Vince McMahon said in Brett versus Owen. And since they referenced it, I wonder if Graves watched that and thought, hey, I'm going to throw that line in during this match for the wrestling geeks that remember it like me. A slugfest broke out, and Jay asked for a big kick, and he gave him one while he was begging for forgiveness. Jay beat down Jimmy, and he begged him for forgiveness, and Jay got suckered in, and Jimmy hit him with a thrust kick, but Jay kicked out. Main event, Jey Uso eventually got onto the forward momentum, hits a frog splash, and wins in 11.5 minutes. Good prevails from evil. 2.5 stars for that match. Main event, Jey Uso gets the win. The crowd are happy. Next up, we got Damage Control. Dakota Kai Kabuki Warriors versus Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi. They mentioned that Asuka has never won at WrestleMania, and her losing streak her winning streak in NXT and WWE was broken by Charlotte Flair, because, of course, it's Charlotte Flair. Kairi Sane flies through the air looking for the insane elbow early. Lots of action around the ring on the apron by the 2 to 3 ladies. I didn't take too many notes for this event, for this match, but the notes that I did take were pretty to the point. Bianca has an amazing WrestleMania resume. She took it to Asuka, then Dakota. A moonsault cover, and Bianca tags in Jade, who has a new haircut. But Kai interrupted that and tagged in the Kabuki Warriors, who double-teamed Bianca. Asuka with a running knee and a near fall. Kai has been jaded by Graves, as that's what he says, as they get the victory in just under 8 minutes, as Jade Cargill got to come in and throw her impressive weight around. Sucks that Asuka gets another loss at WrestleMania. She's never won there. But there was never any doubt in who was going to win this, with Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi on one side. Naomi just came back. Cargill just debuted. Bianca Belair's Bianca Belair. Against Damage Control, wasn't really a question. Damage Control is hyped a lot, and they got titles, but when they go to war, really, like war games, they don't win. So there's that. Pretty basic stuff in this one. Did a decent job. I rated the match 2 stars. Next up, we got a big one. This is, you can tell, it had a main event feel. Sami Zayn and Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, the second last match of the night. Gunther, the longest reigning IC champion of all time, takes on Sami Zayn. The build up to this match was good. I mean, it almost felt like a WrestleMania main event with the family out there in the back to KO and his hug, and then to Chad Gable and all the words of encouragement. A good second main event for night one. Zayn ties up with Gunther in the corner, avoids the chops, then delivers some of his own. Gunther with a German suplex. The ring general is either ready for another big-time defense, maybe his biggest defense, or we're ready for a new IC champion and a new reign. It's been over 600 days. A Let's Go Gunther chant gets started, because you know if Gunther does lose this belt, he's going right to the main event scene. If not an initial IC title rematch. If there's no IC title rematch, and they go maybe Zayn Gable, they'll put Gunther in the main event titles picture where he belongs. Gunther choked out Zayn in a Tree of Woe type move in the corner that was awkward looking. Fired by Zayn though as he brings it with tons of blows, suplexes, but the ring general is prepared for it. Zayn with the Tornado DDT and his big chance to get into the match with a Huluva kick early, but Gunther catches him with a sleeper, a slingshot into a Blue Thunder Bomb, which was attempted. But kickouts all around. Gunther then drops it with a sleeper as Zayn fades to the floor. Zayn so close to the ropes, but Gunther isn't allowing it, as with a resourceful German suplex, as Zayn was closing in on the ropes to block the headlock, the sleeper, but right back into a German suplex, which brought Sami Zayn back closer to the middle of the ring, and that's what Corey Graves points out is so great about Gunther. Gunther, he knows where he is everywhere, every step in the ring. He knows where he is, and he knows how to be resourceful and pull the correct move at the correct time out of his hat. Gunther with a boot to the face in the corner, dropping Sami, but a Huluva kick out of nowhere gets Gunther a little bit dazed. Zayn has to try as he's now spotting an opening here, but he runs into a clothesline from hell from Gunther, turning him inside and out. Gunther is shocked. He goes into a destruction mode. Gunther drops Sami with a clothesline. Gunther asks Sami's wife to help him up. Gunther then with a running powerbomb. Gunther with a big splash off the top. He is enjoying being a villain, a vile one who enjoys pain, a sadist. Another splash attempt to Zayn connects off the top. Cole saying that they could just call the match, as Sami Zayn is not quitting, but he's been through enough. Maybe it's time to ring the bell and make Gunther the undisputed winner. They hook Gunther, does Zayn, with a brainbuster off the top as he and his family are coming back in the match. His family has given him the momentum. He has bought himself another moment, and he delivers another Huluva kick to Gunther, who can't believe it. Zayn with a high thrust kick and pins Gunther. Zayn wins at 16 minutes as he has defeated Gunther at WrestleMania. Great match, and that is what WrestleMania is all about. A defining moment like this. Zayn proves he could do it, and he did it. Definitely a great match with a big culminating moment. I really dig how they built to the climax in this one. The climax was there right in the ending, and they did another 5 to 10 minutes of an ending with Zayn overcoming everything, all the obstacles to win the IC title with his wife on the outside. And I gave this match 3.5 stars. I thought it was great. Could have been rated a bit higher. I could have gone 4 stars. I could have gone 3 stars and 3/4. But I thought I'd sit with a high 3.5 rated match. Next up, we got the main event of night one already. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes versus The Rock and Roman Reigns. I'm almost half an hour into this review. Wow, things go fast. If this was a 2-night review in one, it would go an hour long pretty much. After this Zayn win going in, I had far more confidence that I'll give my predictions after this match is done for night one. But I had far more confidence that the Bloodline was going to win the main event after Zayn got his big win. They weren't going to do both of the same alignment. What I mean by that is Zayn and Rollins and Rhodes were not going to win, and Gunther and the Bloodline weren't going to win. They're not going to have both heels win both big matches on night one. They're going to split it up a little bit. So when Zayn won the title, I thought, definitely, this is definitely it for the Bloodline. They're definitely winning tonight. They're giving more adversity, because more adversity equals more triumph. Cody Rhodes' match tomorrow night will be so much more bigger and better with Bloodline rules. As long as he wins, right? But that's what they're going towards, and that's what I honestly believe will happen. We shall see, though. It's WrestleMania, and things are unpredictable. Cody gets a loud whoa as expected as he comes in dressed for the moment. Seth gets a loud whoa as expected. I'm not going to sing that. I shouldn't even have said that, because I said I'd never sing it again. It gives me a headache. The Rock, though, he gets a very special burning area Brahma Bull entrance where he stands in the middle of a burning bull that's on fire. And his own title, his own People's Championship that was given to him last night from Leah Maivia. That's a new title to add to the 2K's titles that they always download, so a new one for the video game. Looks cool. The entrances to this match took up a good half hour, but as it should, it's WrestleMania 40. 7:24 p.m., so 10:24 p.m. Eastern in Philly. That's what time the bell rang, the opening bell for this match. It went just over 40 minutes. Didn't feel like 40 minutes. It felt more like 20, but it was definitely a great long tag team match. I think this was the match of the night, just barely. Rock and Roman both in amazing shape for this one. Rock and Undertaker are the only two men to main event Mania in 4 different decades. Rollins and Reigns tie up 3 minutes after the opening bell, so there was just a lot of slow talking after the opening bell rang. Roman with a shoulder block, and eventually Cody comes in, and we get a preview of tomorrow night's action with Cody and Roman going at it. Cody and Roman Reigns go face-to-face. Cody and Roman lock up as Rhodes with an overhead wrist lock and a jab, turning the arm into the corner, and he's run into a clothesline by the Tribal Chief. Drew McIntyre is backstage somewhere licking his chops for this match. Blind tag, and Rollins comes in, and Roman looks at the crowd as they get loud with the possibility of The Rock tagging in, and he does. Rollins and Rock about to go ahead and do what they do. Rock wins the shoving match with Rollins, who looks up like a kid, marking out to the fact that he's in the ring with The Rock as he keeps laughing as he keeps going for another tie-up with The Rock, but The Rock's all business. Rock clothesline Rollins out of the corner, and Rock says, "Just bring it," to Cody Rhodes, who's out on the apron. Rhodes says, okay, and Rollins tags in Cody. Rock with a kick to Cody after going down to feed him at first. Rock and Cody head-to-head feels like WrestleMania. Rollins and Rock on the outside eventually, as they didn't last long with Rock and Cody. Roman got involved. Roman and Cody, as this tag match has turned into a brawl for an Attitude Era feel, as we get 2 different tandems. Roman and Cody go up to the staging area, while Rock and Rollins go into the corner of the stage, or not the stage, the corner of the crowd area, whereas the stage is for Cody and Roman. Rock tells the ref before going out there with Seth, don't fuck with him, and if he counts, he's fired. Rollins says Rock out in the corner of the crowd while Cody and Roman brawl to the top of the stage area. As said, Rollins flies back from the crowd to the ringside area as we got a good few minutes of brawling from both tandems on the outside. As I write this, we are 17 minutes into the match, and both tandems of guys, so halfway through the match, and both tandems of guys have done their fair share of brawling in this wrestling match. Roman gets involved, tripping Rollins, and Rock goes to work on the bad knee in the past year, where they kept Rollins out the past few months. Rock then with further work to the leg and slams it into the canvas floor on the Prime logo at center ring. McIntyre's in the back loving this, because Rollins is being taken apart limb by limb, especially that leg and his bad back as well. American Home Shield did their share of sponsoring this match, as they were all over the barricade during this main event, the 7th match of the night. Roman with a half crab to Rollins, furthering up on the leg work. Rock and Reigns are in sync, and they're a cohesive unit, taking their time to take out apart Rollins. The sadists, they are as well, getting pleasure from another person's pain. That's what a sadist is. Both Rock and Roman were taking apart Rollins' bad leg. Cody, meanwhile, needed a hot tag from Rollins badly. That was to save this matchup from any hopes of having no bloodline rules tomorrow. They speak about McIntyre being in the back and loving this, and I feel that you got to feel at this point McIntyre has a good edge to grab the title. But will they make Seth lose twice? That's the only if. I think so. That's my prediction. Rollins needed the hot tag, but Rock gets in this time. Rock then hits a low blow to Rollins. Rock with a reverse elbow shot. Rock then got a sharpshooter on Rollins with the bad leg, and the bad back didn't help. Roman flips Cody off the apron, and now with the bad knee and a bad back was going to make Rollins submit, but Cody hit Rock with a slap, and then he comes into the match himself. Rock gets stomped by Rollins, though, took it out his match with his injured knee. Rock and Cody is a showdown we have yet to witness in this match for a period of time. But now that Rollins hits the stomp, he takes it to the hot tag, a stomp out of desperation. Cody then with a forearm to Roman, a power slam to Roman. Cody with a big high kick and a Cody cutter to Roman. Reigns kicks out as the faces look like that was their best chance to get a win. Roman can see blood now on his nose, and he's into full beast mode now as he goes God mode, says Cole. You don't want to show Roman his own blood. and a sunset flip by Cody and Rollins to the top, but Roman kicks out. Cody with a springboard Cody cutter to Reigns, and Rollins can't put him away. Heyman says, "No, I hate that damn song," as some of Philly start to sing it. Roman takes a big kick by Cody. Rollins with a stomp. Cody cutter to Roman, and Rock pulls off the official out of the ring. Rock sends Rollins into the barricade, and Roman with a low blow to Cody. Roman with a spear to Cody. Rock sends the official back into the ring, and Cody kicks out. Rock says, "God damn it," on the outside. The final boss is pissed off. Rhodes then with a guillotine choke by Roman to Cody. So Rhodes into a guillotine choke by Roman to Cody, I should say. Roman has it locked in mid-match, mid-ring, and this match has been a half hour at this point. It hasn't felt that long, I wrote, as time flies when you're having fun. The Rock with the leverage holding him down. The official couldn't count. Rock is tagged in, and Rocky then went to Cody's mama with his belt. Rock says the tears are next after your son's blood's already on this belt. Cody walks right into a spine buster. Rock went for the people's elbow, and then Cody got up and an awesome counter to the people's elbow, hit a Cody cutter in midair to The Rock, who came back for the people's elbow into mid-ring to drop the people's elbow. He then got a Cody cutter instead. Everyone down here. Roman is giving Rock an opportunity here. Rock speared by Roman as Seth dragged Cody out of the way. So this is people thinking is the end here with Roman spearing The Rock. Rollins then with the pedigree and Rhodes with 1-2 at the same times. This is surely the end. Rock in dire pain by the spear. Cody and Rollins try to regroup as they kicked out. Rollins and Reigns, an amazing kick out. Got the crowd. Rollins took out Reigns and Rhodes had Rock, but he scraped the face of Rhodes. Rock sent Cody into the steps. Rock then cleared off the announce table and spit water into Rhodes. Cody then slammed onto the table as Rock wanted a rock bottom, and he talked to Cody's mama too at the same time. Don't do that because you're giving your opponent the motivation and the time to come back, and that's exactly what happens. Cody Rhodes ends up rock bottoming The Rock from one table to the next, through the table to the floor, and right when that happens, Roman Reigns is spearing Seth Rollins into the barricade simultaneously. Huge moments after a huge near fall. Meanwhile, all the bodies are on the floor now. Chaos everywhere in this climax. A great outside of the ring moment. Rock went down from that rock bottom hard from the table to the next. Not only had Cody countered the rock bottom, but the people's elbow too earlier into a Cody cutter. He hits the rock bottom to a different table, and simultaneously, as said, Roman speared Rollins through the barricade. This is how the main event of WrestleMania 40 should be booked, overbooked, as usual Cody's matches are. The Rock now legal comes into the ring, and now we're 40 minutes into the matches of this writing. Cody whipped by The Rock, and now a rock bottom, perhaps down and out Cody. Rock then goes for another version of the people's elbow, but then does a cutthroat signal and then hits the elbow and gets the 3. Rock and Roman are victorious. McAfee said, "Welcome back, final boss. You didn't miss a beat." And now we'll have bloodline rules in the main event of Sunday night's WrestleMania match. It wasn't a night for the Lynch-Rollins household, as both members of the couple lose, but neither will tomorrow night, and we'll have to see about that. Rated this match 3 stars and 3/4 for a technical wrestling match. It wasn't there, but for a spectacle, it was. Definitely 40 minutes of action, and it was good. It wasn't great the whole time, but it was good enough for it to be the match of the night, just barely. Over Sammy and Gunther, just barely. 3 stars and 3/4 I gave it. Predictions-wise, out of 7. Let's talk about predictions now. I went 3 for 7. Counting that damn Andre the Battle Royal, I went 3 for 8. So we will count the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. At Survivor Series, I went 6 out of 6. Royal Rumble, I went 4 out of 6. Here so far, 3 out of 8. But on the night, 3 out of 7. I did get the Bloodline right. I got the Jade Cargill match right. And I got the opening match right with Rhea Ripley. Everything else, I chose the other. Everything else. Show-wise, out of 10, I give this show, this part 1, this night 1, a 7.5 out of 10 for one night. I will put both ratings together tomorrow to make it out of 20 and then give a percentage rating. So if it's, for instance, 16 out of 20 tomorrow, that's 8 out of 10 and 80%, a B. So we'll see what tomorrow night's is. This night scored 7.5, though, out of 10. We started out action heavy with Rhea and Becky into a chaotic ladder match with a feel-good ending. From there, we had some feel-good moments with Rey Mysterio and Jey Uso. the match. We got them both baby faces winning their match, so we got some good faces winning, as we did with Sami Zayn and the Bianca Belair matches. A lot of faces winning tonight to set it up for the biggest tag team match ever in history, with the Bloodline, the heels, getting the final win. Rollins called it the future of this industry being on the line. I don't know if it's that grand, but it was definitely a big match, and it definitely leads to tomorrow night with the future of the industry on the line. Definitely for that main event. WrestleMania Saturday has come and gone overall, and it felt like WrestleMania 40 minutes into this review. It's as long as the main event, but we still got a lot more to go. WrestleMania Sunday tomorrow night. If you enjoyed this review, please come back for tomorrow night, and stay subscribed and notified, as we're just halfway through WrestleMania 40 XL. I'm Brett Mix, and we'll see you tomorrow night for Night 2 of WrestleMania Sunday. For Night 1 from Philadelphia's Lincoln Financial Field, April the 6th, 2024, this has been my review for WrestleMania 24, WrestleMania Saturday. I'm Brett Mix, and I'm out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great Saturday night.